Hello and welcome aboard FS MaNiA's VFR Scenic flight to Seattle. If you're just now joining us, we are cruising at 3,500 feet, heading northward to get an up-close and personal view of the Olympic Mountains to the west, and when we turn back to the southeast, we will descend below the floor of the Seattle Class Bravo airspace and have an up-close and personal look at the waterfront of Seattle. Then we'll see a few surprise sights as we make our trip back over to Bowerman Field from which we left. So, welcome aboard, buckle up, and enjoy the flight. So what we're looking at right here up ahead is called Dabob Bay. Dabob Bay. I don't know if I said Dabob right. It might be Dabob. Dabob Bay. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Dabob Bay. And off to the right is Puget Sound. A little further over. And we are still looking at the Olympic Mountains and the Olympia National Park. And two pretty cool little valleys coming up through here. This ridge line looks like it might be a nice little hike right there for the more adventurous of us. Yeah, we're on the outskirts of the Class Bravo airspace over at Seattle, and we're going to descend and duck under that. Keep our mode C on, of course, so they can spot us, but yeah, we're VFR, and by staying under it, we don't have to call them on the radio. It'd probably be wise to. Probably really should consider that. In the real world, definitely would. But since, you know, we're just out having fun today, we're going to just go on like we are. We should be starting our turn here momentarily. Beautiful area, beautiful scenery. It's just going to get prettier. And let's say take a look and see. Yep, 11 seconds. We're going to make a turn. 058. We'll just go ahead and bring our course over. 058. Let the GPS do the work. We'll just keep track of what it's doing, and now we're turning. And momentarily we'll be making another turn to the right towards Seattle, and we should start being able to see Mount Rainier. There's Mount Rainier though, standing up tall and proud, and beyond her to the south is, I called it a her, I don't know if mountains are called hers, but beyond Mount Rainier to the south is Mount Adams, and then to the south of that one is Mount Hood, and then off to the right is Mount St. Helens. So I'm seeing Seattle over here off in the distance, and George wants to take us that way. And what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and tell you what we'll do. Let's take the take over. Let's dump our yaw damper. Let's get rid of our autopilot. And I'm going to back our power on back to about 30 inches. And we're going to go ahead and start descending down. So the Class Bravo airspace out this far is, the floor is 5,000. It's an upside down wedding cake kind of, and it will step down to 3,000 as we get a little closer. And then of course it goes all the way to the surface once you get within certain distance of the field, Seattle.
Tacoma Field, and I, you know, am getting ready to do something that isn't 100% legal. I'm going to need everybody just to, you know, keep this to yourself. I hate to get reported because, you know, could lose privileges as a pilot, and I don't want that to happen. So, you know, what we would do in the real world is, if we really wanted to do this, which we wouldn't because it would be crazy, but if we did, well, we'd cut off our transponder. That would be dumb, but we would do that, and ATC would have kind of a hard time tracking us with all the targets around this place. But yeah, there's the shining city of Seattle. Maybe about 1,500 or so. Might even go lower, who knows? And maybe we'll just do something crazy when we get down here. Now, I will tell you, this is a very frame rate intense environment, and my computer ain't no slouch, but it has a hard time keeping up with all this scenery. It's working hard, huffing and puffing, and that is why I think I'll cut that flight director off just so we don't have that distracting us. That is why I am going to investigate and have already purchased another simulator that is not limited to a 32-bit architecture. It has 64-bit architecture, and that is X-Plane. And X-Plane in the past has gotten kind of a bad rap for not having a lot of add-ons, but I've seen some pretty nice stuff coming out of X-Plane, and I think X-Plane has a future, and I think it has a promising future. That's just in my opinion. So there's the Space Needle right there, modeled, and I realize the terrain is, or the autogen is working and showing up as we're flying by, so you know, it's not the most impressive, but anyway, I guess it's just doing the best it can. All it's got to process with 32-bit, and FSX doesn't necessarily take core multi-core or take advantage of the multi-core processing. X-Plane has, you know, it's still being developed, and it does take advantage of it. So I'm going to be interested to see how much better that is, because I've got a very good computer to run this, and I know I can tweak things and cut things on and off. So there is the Seattle Seahawk Stadium, CenturyLink Stadium, and then right next door is the Mariners, Seattle Mariners. So, sweet little area. There's Mount Rainier, and I think that's is that Tacoma, Washington, off to the south there. Spokane is to the east, and where these two red lights are up ahead, I gotta watch my power here. I don't get too fast, but these two red lights up ahead I see are some runway guidance lighting for King County Airport, otherwise known as Boeing Field. I think we'll just come over here and pay them a little visit while we're in town. What do y'all think? Just go by and say hello in our Beechcraft. We're somewhat related. We're built in America. So let's just go do a little flyby here, see if we see any. I got two whites and two reds. That looks good. So we're not going to land, of course. We're just going to buzz the runway. This is totally illegal. I'm pretty certain they'd probably send up military aircraft to intercept us. But maybe, maybe not. Yeah, there's some Boeing. There's a 757, I think it was there. Off to the right. Boeing Field, ladies and gentlemen. With a nice view in the windshield of Mount Rainier. There's some jet taxiing out of our way. Good for him. And we're at an altitude of about 150 feet. So let's climb. Keep an eye on that airspeed. Don't let it get too slow, but we just get us some altitude here. There's 1,000. Too far. Let's change views. There we go. So there's the VOR. So we're going to want to, yep, it's telling me turn right. I do want to see the airport. 2,000 feet. Let's drop the nose down, see if we can't see. Find Seattle. There it is. We're coming right over it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's the tower. I'm sure they're on the phone right now calling, calling in the F-16s. Yeah, we'll be out of here before they get those things scrambled. We're going to be back in KHQM. Probably be getting a phone call. We're going to back our power off. And get us back down to where we should be. Yeah, we're going to end up blowing up our engines. How's our cylinder head temperature? It looks good. Yeah, okay, that was fun. fun stuff. Pretty. There's our buddy, Mount Rainier. Hello. Sun's going down. There's the Olympic Mountains off to the right. All kinds of good things to look at here. So let's fly this airplane. So coming up on 3,000 feet, and we'll go ahead and cut our nav flight director back on there. Let's do arm our altitude, and let's see what the flight director wants to do. And we'll go ahead and cut on our autopilot. Okay, let's see. Let's make sure we got nav. There we go. Not have that engaged. Let's see what our message tells us. Set course 231. We'll do that. Set course to 231, and we're headed home. Now we're 66 miles away, so we're just going to enjoy the scenery. I'm going to compress the time a little bit so we don't have to eat up a whole lot of time. We can go ahead and set in the KHQM VOR up here if we want to. Let me see what that frequency is. Pull up my sectional chart, and it's 117.7. So we want to put that. I think I'll use this radio right here, 117.2. Let's just bring it up here, 117.7. Now this is the same radio. These are the same. It's just they're left in here, which I like. Nav 1 is also the same as the GPS nav radios and comm radios. The Nav 2 and comm 2 down here are, of course, not. So we've still got them all. All right, now we've got the KHQM VOR 71 miles. We're closing in at 188 knots, 22 minutes away. And I want to look and see. Now it's coming up on getting close to 6, so we'll get there about 6, and it'll be just about right for a nice sunset there. We're going to land on runway 6, and we'll be coming in from over the water. We'll enter the pattern in a downwind for runway 6, and yeah, turn right on base and right on final. So fun flight with FS MaNiA. So these two bodies of water here, the first one is car inlet and the second one is case inlet, for anybody that was wondering what those are. There's lots of water around here. This would be a good place to live if you like to boat, which I do. It's true. The scenery really is pretty still. I mean, the sky, sun setting, mountains off in the distance there. Yep. The panel lights. I mean, it just doesn't get much prettier than this. You gotta love this part of it. There's some traffic coming right at us. They're higher than we are. Kind of curious what kind of airplane it might be. Be a jet flying into Seattle or something else. Whoever they are, they got their landing light on, and therefore making them almost impossible to identify. So let's see how we're doing. We're 25 miles still from Bowerman, and this DME is saying 33, but the VOR is 8 miles beyond the field, so that holds true. And we'll get about I don't know, about 15 miles out, we'll call and get the advisory. We could listen to the ASOS, and we probably should. Let's see if anything's changed.
Kilo Hotel, Quebec, Mike, automated weather observation, 0150 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility greater than 20 miles. Sky condition clear. Temperature 24 Celsius. Dew point 16 Celsius. Altimeter 3000.
Everything stayed the same. How you like that? It's pretty much a high pressure system dominating the weather today, giving us clear skies, good visibility, a little bumpy but not too bad late in the day like this. Winds are calm. Yeah. You don't have too many days like this out here in March on the west coast, so good thing we hit it just about perfect. A little clouds scattered out here over the Pacific coast of the US. Yeah, we're looking at the Pacific Ocean out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how far out we are. 17 miles. Yeah, it's not too early just to give them a little call over there. Bowerman Unicom, Duke Sierra 5, Charlie Echo Alpha. We are 16 miles to the northeast, inbound landing. Say you're active in traffic.
Aircraft calling Bowerman. Bowerman winds favoring runway 6. No reported traffic.
Okay, understand runway 6 and none reported for Duke Charlie Echo Alpha. Yeah, That was the local guys down there, Bowerman. Now, so we're going to start planning our approach and descent. I think I do have the field in sight, and since we're going to enter downwind right now, you can see looking at runway 6, we're going to be crossing the center line of it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn us. Let's come over here and let's put our heading on. Let's get our heading bug up here. Heading of about 210. Let's go ahead and go to heading mode. And let's get across that runway center line so we can get into the right traffic pattern. And I think we can go ahead and start our descent down to pattern altitude. Pattern altitude is 1,500 feet. Oh, there was a nuclear power plant. So there it is, right there. Yep, I looked that up earlier. It's got a kind of a funny name. I don't really remember what it is now, but yeah, there's a nuclear power plant. Hello there. So we don't want to be flying around that. And where are we? We're going to descend down. We're descending down 500 feet a minute to, let's get that set back in here, to 1,500 feet pattern altitude. So we're going to be coming in kind of over the town. Here's, I think it's Aberdeen and then Hoquiam, kind of side by side there. Airport's out there. There's the Pacific, and this is called, what's that called? It's something like Gray Harbor, Dark and Gray Harbor. Let's see what the name of that was. Gray's Harbor. Yeah. When I flew in here before, in the I ease that power on back, start cooling our engine down. Don't want to shock cool it here at the end. What was that? I flew in here in the Citation. It was dark and gray. Flew into Gray's Harbor. So there's a little bridge right there. It's late in the day, kind of a really pretty time to be flying. And there we are crossing the center line. So we can now just go ahead and turn in toward, well, I'm turning the wrong thing. 1,500. Just start turning knobs here. I want to turn our heading. Here we go. 2-4, heading 2-4. And let's go ahead and increase this descent down. Let's get down to pattern altitude. And we'll go ahead and slow bring our power back. And let's bring our heading on over to 2-4. And descent checklist cowl flaps are currently closed. And I think we're going to want to probably open them up low and slow. I'm going to go ahead and bring them open. I don't want to shock cool that engine though, so I'll hold off on that. Altimeter has been set, pressurization. Bring that down to sea level. Bowerman traffic, Duke Sierra 5, Charlie Echo Alpha is entering a left downwind, correction, right downwind for runway 6, Bowerman. Yep, right. So we're making right turns, right downwind. And pressurization set, windshield, anti-ice, we're not going to worry about that right now. We're at pattern altitude. We'll keep our power set right about where we are. And our mixture, I'm going to go ahead and bring that up into rich. And we're going to get our booster pumps on, our boost pumps. And our fuel, we've checked, looks good. Let's get rid of this prop sink. We never cut it on, so we don't have to worry about getting rid of it. Oh well, I guess we didn't need it after all. Let's get our landing lights on. Let's get up here where we can see to get our landing lights on. They're right there. Go ahead and get our taxi lights on. And let's see, lost my place. Yep. We can go ahead and bring our props up into the full. And I think we are good. We'll just get rid of our yaw damper. And I don't think it's on anyway. Yaw damper. Yep, there it is. It wasn't on. So, where was that runway? There it is. So when we get a beam of the numbers, which we are pretty much there, we'll go ahead and get a notch of flaps in. And let's drop our gear. And we want to start a slow descent now. About 500 feet a minute. Yeah, there's the end of the runway. So when it's about 45 degrees off our right shoulder, and it's a little tough, I gotta say, to find everything. I'm just using the autopilot right now just because it's kind of easy to, but I'll take over whenever I need to. But we're going to go ahead and we'll start turning to base. So that'll be about heading of what, 330, 310. Yeah, 330. Bowerman traffic, Duke Charlie Echo Alpha, turning right base, runway 6, Bowerman. So we want to just keep ourselves coming down. And this will probably be a good time to go ahead and take the control. And there's the end of the runway. So we can kind of judge our turn on the final. Might be a little early yet. Everything's working out pretty good here. We'll go ahead and start this turn. Bowerman traffic, Duke Charlie Echo Alpha, turning final, runway 6, Bowerman. And let's ditch that flight director so it doesn't confuse the issue here. So we're about 800 feet now. We want to roll out. With any luck, you roll out, you know, nice and lined up with the center line, but easier said than done. So if you don't, you just make some adjustments. You just kind of slow my turn up. Just keep on coming down. And that's a pretty good job, actually. Not too shabby there, FS MaNiA. Looks like you've done that before, and this is actually the first time I've flown this pattern. Yeah, so now better not brag too quick. A little bit of left rudder, and then easing that power back, and let's get another notch of flaps. And keep that nose coming down. Let's easing that power off. Bowerman traffic, Duke Charlie Echo Alpha, short final, runway 6, Bowerman. This cockpit seems awful bright for this time of night. Seems like it should be a lot darker in here. I don't feel like that's very realistic, but I'm not complaining. Easing my nose up. Level of the wings. Power's coming off. Power's coming off. Settling onto the runway. Left to center a little bit. Not terrible, but not the best. Brakes. Missed that taxiway. We'll get the next one. Raise up our flaps. And Bowerman traffic, Duke Charlie Echo Alpha, clear the active. Okay, let's clean up our airplane here. And we'll taxi in, shut her down, call it a day. So let's get off our landing light. And we can go ahead and cut these heaters off over here. And let me do a quick after landing flaps retract, cowl flaps full open. And we have them open. Yes. And the booster pumps can come off. Yep, so we did forget one thing, which was the prop sync, but that wasn't the end of the world. You do want to cut that on after you get up out of the pattern. And the prop device is off, and let go to standby on our transponder. That would be all the way right there. And what else we got? Lights as required, so we got our, let's cut our strobes off. And we'll taxi on in now to parking. So let's see if we can park in sort of the same spot. Because after all that flying, I'm ready for a cheeseburger over here at Atlanta's. Tight in here, I must say. Yeah, I think we were parked right here next to this 208. The same people still there, looks like, maybe. Yeah, they're waiting on us. We made it back, safe and sound. Okay, we'll call that good. And let's hide this so we can set that, unhide that. We go. Okay, shut down. Avionics master. Go off of that. And we'll cut our inverters off. And environmental system would go off of that. External lights. Yep. We taxi light here. Let's get that off. Throttles 1000 RPMs. Bring them on back. And we'll go to cut off the mixture. There's our left engine. And our right engine. Let those props stop spinning. Go ahead and cut those mags off. And we'll get rid of the generators. Panel lights. And battery master. Listen to the gyros winding down. Singing a sweet little song. And we cut these fuel selectors off too before we get out. That one is off and off. So that's it. So let's hop out of this bad boy. And I have found it's best to kind of slip over here to the right, kind of get my butt over here in this other seat. Here, another airplane. And then you kind of have to worm your way out and duck your head. There we go. Let's get out through here. And come back here and get this door open. There it is. Now you're going to need to take a step onto this flap right here. And then there's a, watch your step there. There's a, you see it right there? Yep, that's what we want. So let's get out here and we'll get on that. Yep, there you go, old man. There you go. You got it. Yeah, you act like you're about 80. And sometimes you feel that way. But yeah, I think that might be the ASOS there. That's a guess, but probably not a bad guess. And yeah, there's Lana, so we're gonna eat. So that was a great flight. I appreciate you being with me on that. And next up is going to be a quick little flight in the Citation. We're going to check out the the newly released Coronado released the updatable Navigraph for the FMS for the S550 Citation 2. So dang, we can fly. And yeah, so we're gonna definitely want to check that out, and we're going to fly from here, I think, over to Seattle just to demonstrate and maybe do a little quick tutorial on how it's used. And then after that, we're going to be flying the Citation up towards Alaska. Can't wait for that. And then from there, onward and upward. So enjoyed it. Thank you for being with me, and thanks for watching. And I will see you on the next flight. So long from FS MaNiA.